Welcome and fire up the chariot. Take me to the sun.
Yeah.
The sparrows are in the house. Welcome back.
Yay!
Welcome back, sparrows. It's always
Good to see you
fun
again.
to talk with you. So much energy in this band. Welcome back to progressiverockcentral.com. And today we're going to discuss Chariot and the new ninth album, as well as any tour news. So welcome back, Victoria, Brian, Olive, and Sebastian. Let me give you guys a chance to say hi. Go ahead.
Hey, it's good to see you again. It was a really nice time that we spent last time, and we're happy to be back.
Yeah, thanks for having us again.
Definitely. It's always good to have you guys. All right, so let's talk about Chariot. Tell me about the title.
Well, actually, we were deciding between two songs, and at first, one of the songs on the album was called The Silence. So as we were working on the album, it was pretty much the silence. And then when we heard the songs at the end, we said, okay,
we felt that
Chariot is the
driver.
Driver of the. So we said, let's go with Chariot, and we really felt good about that name.
And then we also decided it should be the opening song of the album.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, it's a perfect opener.
We did write a Chariot, I would say around 7 years ago. So it's one of the older songs we've written. And we wrote it in Zermatt. Zermatt is where the famous mountain is.
If you ever had the Toblerone chocolate, it's the mountain shape on the chocolate.
So we wrote it actually in that village.
Yeah.
So it was kind of about the mountain and everything. So it was really a good experience. And it was amazing because it kind of almost just made its way on the album. We felt we should, because we always write maybe 10 new songs and include two older ones, 2 or 3, because we want to keep it fresh, but we have like 100 songs written that haven't gone on.
Been produced yet.
So it was one of the ones that came on, and we were very excited that we wrote it. And if you just to get into it, like when we wrote that song, we wrote it all around the town, like we were in a hotel.
We wrote it in the cable car, as well as we were like coming down from the mountain, and we were just rolling in the cable car on the
singing it like whoa.
And we visited like the old buildings in the town.
There was a little little chapel way up on the mountain, and then we wrote a part of it in there. It kind of wrote it all over the place.
And it had like really great acoustics in there, so we were like rolling.
It was quite a good experience.
All the oohs and ahs.
Yes.
Crazy bands.
It sounds like fun, definitely. Yeah, beautiful city too. Yeah.
Yes. Have you been to Switzerland?
Which one you're talking about? Yeah.
You've been to Switzerland before?
I haven't. No, I haven't been there, but I do know about it and have studied it, and yeah, it's beautiful for sure.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah. Visit.
All right, video game. Tell me a little bit about that. That was for me, it was a surprise. I like the song, but just completely different, but good.
Yeah. Well, this song actually we were writing with the children of the producer that we have in Cyprus. And so we were like, well, let's write a song with your kids, and they were like really excited and everything. So we went downstairs into his studio, and we just started writing on the piano with the kids. And Brian was kind of just like asking questions to his son, and just like some simple basic questions like, okay, give me a letter from A to to G. And so that was like the key we would write the song in. And all these kind of basic questions that gave us just like the technicality of the song. And so that was really interesting. And then what did you ask, Jonas? I can't remember.
What should the song be about? He said about war
or murder or
murder
something like
or
that.
something like that. Murder. Okay. Good. So where does this take?
He's a 10-year-old.
He's a 10-year-old. Where does this take place?
And he's
in a
like,
forest.
in a dark
In a dark
forest.
forest. I said, okay.
Yeah.
And they,
So
of
then we
course, like
started the
kids, they
song.
like video games. So they're always, and sometimes the dad's okay, no video games tonight. So then it just kind of, we wrote the first verse with them there. And then as I moved forward with the lyrics, I realized, this is like a video game.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of went on from there.
And it's also like life is kind of like a video game in a way. So
It
this
can
kind
be.
of what comes through the song. And then also about escaping from that video game, which is interesting.
Yeah,
So-
and something, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but we went to see the movie Free Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I
Did you
have-
see Free Guy?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
But I know
so
what
we
you're
went to
talking.
see Free Guy right after we wrote the song,
Yeah.
and it was like, it was the song. The
Yeah.
story of
Of
the
the
movie was
song.
like the
It
song.
was really interesting.
So it's very fascinating. It's kind of interesting.
Definitely. All right. How about DNA? Tell us a little bit about that one. Very interesting.
Ladies.
What do you, V, tell us how you felt about
How
the song.
do you felt about this song?
Well, I suppose it's
Because it's also a part of the old song, like
Yeah.
what they wrote a long time ago. So I wasn't there. So yeah. what
it's a
did you
song we
think?
wrote maybe like 8 years ago, and I suppose it's just kind of like looking inside the mind of like a woman and how she feels, and she wants to be like a solid hot woman, but she is not going to end up with some
Bad man.
bad dude. So essentially she's looking for another man who's hot like her, and this kind of concept. So it's interesting. It's like looking inside a woman's mind a bit.
And men would love that for sure. Because sometimes you can't figure you out. We need help.
I
Sometimes.
can
And
I think the
when
guys
we-
agree.
when we were in production, it was Victoria's favorite song right away.
yeah.
She loved it so much.
But then my favorite I think is Aleppo. But yeah, we're gonna
Get to that.
get to that after.
All right. The silence.
Yeah, it's an interesting story of how we actually got to write the song. So basically, we live in Switzerland, in Zurich, which is the German part of Switzerland. And then one day we just decided we want to go to Geneva, and it's about a 4 hours drive from Zurich. So we just said, okay, let's go to Geneva. And then we would stop on the way to Geneva and do a little promotion for albums and things like this. And then on our last day of the trip, Geneva was the day. And then we went in there and we did some promotion with the CDs and everything. And all of a sudden we meet this very special, beautiful person called Svetlana. She was
Mm.
half Russian, half French.
Mm.
Mm.
she's
Yeah, exactly this. And then basically we gave her an album, and right away, like the next day or something, she texted back and she says, "Oh my God, I love this album so much. This is the greatest music of all times," kind of concept. I don't know the exact word she said. And then I think we asked her to
Well,
come
we
and-
were kind of in the concept of writing songs with people at the time, because you kind of get their whole story and everything like this, and it ends up being very interesting in the song. So we invited her to write a song with us, but she didn't actually speak a lot of English. It was more French, so it was a very
And
interesting.
I wasn't here to translate
yeah,
at the
on the
time.
day
They
when-
were
You were
just
there to
Yeah.
translate. Yeah. I
yeah,
was
she
gonna
came
say
all the
we
way-
got Victoria. You know, she. could-
Yeah, but I wasn't there in the day that they wrote the song together
Yeah.
with her. So
It was very fascinating because when we first met her, she was kind of walking close to us, and then Olive was very interested in. I said, I want to meet this girl because
she had a very interesting.
she
look,
looked
you know,
like she
with-
was stepping out of a movie. You know, she had the hat and then this
Oh,
long.
And you could
coat.
almost not tell if she was like a girl or a guy. Like he
Yeah,
thought
because-
it was a guy, and I thought it was
Because
a
the
girl.
outfit was a little bit like I don't know, like it was like a long trench coat and then kind of like a modern sort of thing, but it had a big rimmed hat, and it was like she just came from a movie
movie.
scene or something. And we
Wow.
just hi, and then she was so nice, but of course she doesn't speak so much. We just talked for a little bit, and then because she had such an excited
Reaction. To
yeah
the
energy about the music, we said, hey, do you want to come to be with us when we wrote a song? write a song, and then she just came 3 hours by train to Zurich.
Wow.
And it was so funny because we were in our studio in Zurich with a piano, and we realized, oh wow, she doesn't actually speak so much English. So we kind of just made sign language and things like this. And yeah, we wrote the song pretty fast with her. And at the end of the song, she said, "That is my
story.
that's my story."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she felt it. Yeah, so it was
Really
really
hit it.
special. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Hit
a
it
special
perfectly.
Yeah,
time.
and
That's good.
just to get into the song also a little bit, it's really one of my favorites of the whole album, because it's really talking about just for one moment just being silent, you know, because the mind always talks and there's the emotional things, there's the world running left and right, but at some point when you somehow achieve this silence, whatever you need to do, climb a mountain or something like this, you actually can breathe and
Find
you
the space to
and you
breathe.
can actually listen to what you're supposed to do, what's all the good stuff, and with all the distractions from all sorts of sources, it's sometimes very difficult. So the silence really
a good
helps
one.
sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a great story. And the thing I get from it is in Europe has always been, miles ahead of us in terms of multilingual speaking and everything. You guys have mastered the English language. You sound as if you were Americans. But your ability to, take that chance and work with her, even though she didn't, speak exactly, perfect English. The fact that you're willing to reach out and help and work with people and do whatever it needs to communicate is exciting. That's just,
Yeah,
people
we
need
love
to
it.
do that. People all over the world need to do that. We need to find a way to communicate with each other. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And then this album, parts of it are a little sadder, and the big one is Aleppo. And you kind of, I think in the first interview you talked about it, but if you guys want to refresh that and talk a little bit about that it's a tough song, but it's a tough story.
Mhm. Victoria can start with
Well,
this one.
I really feel this story like it's very, how do you say? You can feel it, on their skin. And a few weeks ago, I've been processing a new choreography about it. And so to tell the story about, the children and the war. And yeah, so it's gonna be a release at some point, maybe, but it's very a song with a lot of emotions, and people can really feel that, I guess.
Yeah, actually, how the songwriting began was also very interesting. So we were in Cyprus at the time, and we had just had like it's called what's it called?
Like a shawarma.
Yeah,
right?
like a shawarma, and it's
some kind of kebab or something to this effect.
exactly, it's a Eastern food, and then we figured out that this place is actually Syrian.
Yeah.
The place is a Syrian
That you
restaurant,
went to
and then
the restaurant.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we didn't
We
necessarily.
didn't think about it at the
Yeah.
time, but then
And-
we started writing the song, and it was right away, I am from Aleppo, and all of a sudden we realized, oh wow, we were just in that
Yeah.
Syrian restaurant.
And
So
Brand,
maybe the influence kind of came from there or
From the
something.
people around.
yeah, because it was crazy. Brian just picked up the guitar and he started rolling like this, and all of a sudden he goes, I can't sing it, but I am from Aleppo. It was really
From
crazy.
nowhere.
What's fascinating is that everybody kind of liked this feeling or the story that was coming in the song, but specifically Victoria
Yeah.
got attached to the song
That's
very
why
much.
She fought for it to be on this album.
Yeah.
To be on this
So-
album, I really
Thank
Without
you for the
Victoria,
song to make
the
it.
Thanks
song
for your
wouldn't have-
fight.
yeah, on this album.
Liberté.
And even like when we set the songs for the Chariot album, this was totally unwritten. Only the chorus and a little the first verse, maybe. The rest of the song we didn't have, and we had another song on the album which wasn't kind of finished but almost finished, and then Victoria's like, every
No.
day you've got to put Aleppo on the
Yeah,
album.
you
You got to put Aleppo on the album. And so one day she got through to me and I said, okay, we're gonna do it. And
Yeah.
then we even did the demo of Aleppo with only one verse, and we made the whole music with the verse and the chorus. And then near the end, when we were in the production, we finished writing it.
We wrote the other verses.
We wrote the other verses
And the bridge.
Yeah.
and the bridge. So that was the experience.
Excellent. All right. And Oasis. Tell us a little bit about it.
I want to explain
It's the
about
love
the
of
song.
Seb's life.
Yeah.
It's
This
always-
is his
So
favorite.
let's start sharing some personal details here. So when first, when the album first came through, you know, obviously we work a lot in the studio, but then our producer kind of makes a pre-mix, and this time we were already in Switzerland, so we didn't really know exactly what the song's gonna come out. But then he sent us the first round of pre-mixes, and you know, the first the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it was all really great, and all of a sudden Oasis comes. And from the very first line, I started to cry for the whole song. I was really bursting out into tears because it was so much exactly the things I have been going through personally. It's about the story of being in the desert, and you're looking for water. You're looking for, you know, it's there, you know it exists, but sometimes it's very difficult. You feel emotionally a bit dry or something, and all of a sudden you find this water. And then it really, because it is there and we all know it is there, and when you find it, it's just so beautiful, and it even makes you appreciate the water even more after you've been through a little bit of a dry patch. So it's really something special. And there's also one, just my favorite line of probably the whole album. It's like this: walking through the fire of hatred, you know. So the kiss of death won't touch my heart. And that's just really how I've been
Very
feeling,
deep.
you know, in the last months. And because there's a lot of hate out there and a lot of, you know, things.
Yes, this
It's
is
been a
also one
tough,
of
it's been a tough 2 years for all the world, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, the writing of the song happened maybe 7 years ago as well. It's one of the oldest songs, and it's interesting because a very philosophical type of a guy that we were doing film production with his company. It was actually Audi, and we were just in like discussions about the music and so on and so forth, and a film production. And we really connected right away. He was like one of the marketing managers or something like this. And then he said, "Oh, I really love your songs, but could you write one that is about," I said, "What is it about? Tell me what to write the song about." And he said, "World peace." Right?
Yeah.
He said world peace. And so this is the song that
Yeah.
came for this.
Perfect. Little Bird, we also, I think, talked a little bit about that during that first interview, but go ahead now that it's out. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well,
I think that's the one.
yeah, Little Bird is a song that I was writing exactly 1 year ago, pretty much. And it was actually written for his daughter. She's like about 20 years old, and she was going through some rough times in her life as well. And but she was always very like positive and trying to do the right thing. And I suppose sometimes she would feel lonely, and so this song was written for people like her, which just need to be encouraged and told that, hey, you're doing it, you're making it, just go and be who you are, continue doing the right thing, and be encouraged, because you're beautiful for who you are, the way you are. That's wonderful. Don't stop doing that, because I'm proud of you for that. So I think that's for all the people who are going through, you know, a tough struggle at the time. It's something that will lift you up, you know.
Definitely. Everyone needs that that shout out, that kindness, really. It's perfect. Getting up again is another, you know, don't get stuck in a rut. Get up and fight and keep going. You want to talk about?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we wrote this one in Cyprus. So sometimes we just say, okay, we let's write another song. We just get charged up for a second and say, let's get to it. And we just one Sunday morning when we weren't producing in the studio, we took the guitar and just started rolling this in our apartment. Really, we were feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it
we
was
just it was like a
morning
breakfast writing.
Yeah.
So we just had
Oh,
a lot of fun
excellent.
with it, and yeah, it was really nice. And this is probably one of the next songs we might do a music video for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
time for it.
Yeah, we're definitely planning on doing some music videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
Very
little
very
while
soon.
now.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you guys have been so busy making albums, you haven't been making those. But I know they're coming. No, I know you guys are traveling the world, so that's excellent. What about Once in a Lifetime? I like that. I mean, that title is perfect, but tell us a little bit about that story. It's a good one.
Well, this one was also written in the studio with in the producer in Cyprus. And this one was interesting because, you know, we always like record our songs as we're writing them just so we can remember it later. And in this case, the phone wasn't there or something, or wasn't working. So I had to set it up on the computer. So I set it up on the computer and everything. And then I was like, okay, let's just do a test to see if it works. And then I just hit the record button and Brian just started playing the piano. And then I just started singing and and just let it flow. And it was like, wow, that was interesting. And then we hit the pause to go watch it back and listen to it. And the words were sung in there, once in a lifetime. And Brian was like, that's it, that's the song, that's what we're gonna write about. And it was like, I don't know, just
So we were just getting the recording working, and so I was just doodling on the piano, and then she literally is going once in a lifetime. She hit that before we were even writing.
Even the melody.
The melody was there,
Wow.
once in a memory, and then it just went on.
but the
First
song
take.
itself
Sounds like a first take, or
Yeah, at least
Almost.
like I did.
the idea and the melody, even the chords and everything. But yeah, the song itself is about a near-death experience. So I
Mhm.
suppose you can get that from the lyrics. but
Definitely.
it takes you through the whole experience of what it possibly is like in that moment, and how you feel, all the memories that come back, and all this stuff. Yeah. So it's interesting.
And
Yeah,
also
no,
we had
it's
just-
very good.
We had just
Mhm.
met a lady also promoting the albums, and she went in, and we're also writing a song with her. That's actually the last song on the album, called Bel Air, and she was just sharing a lot about her story. And she did have a similar experience where she
Yeah.
really rose up, you know, and she was really seeing everything, the whole room from above.
Yeah.
And she told us it's exactly, you know, how
I felt
How a lot of people say that they experienced that moment, and she had the same experience that they had, and it was very personal and interesting to see someone who actually went through that and is telling you that, so you know it's not fake. Or
No. I think you might have mentioned that in the first interview too. I remember that story sounds familiar. But-
yeah, from Lazarus. I don't know. Right?
Well, Lazarus was on the first, the We Are the People.
Oh, okay.
What about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, so it might have been a little
Or
similar.
I'm Alive.
One of
I'm
the
Alive.
stories. Yeah, but it's kind of
Yeah.
similar in this way.
Yeah.
To the future. Let's go to the future.
Sorry, Brian, you're on.
Well, this I got emotional when I wrote this song. I think it was us.
it was you three.
It was us three in the beginning. It was the
Yeah.
same scenario as
I'm
getting up again.
the same.
So we were
kind
like
of
on another
morning.
day. We had
we were
another
writing.
morning, and we were having breakfast,
Nice coffee.
nice coffee, and then basically it's a song from your
Written-
past self to your current self,
Yep.
right? Or
Yep.
it could be from you in the future, from yourself now.
Yeah.
And the principle is like, imagine a time when you are the most excited about life, the most energized, the most ready to tackle a dream or chase a dream or something like this. And you have all the courage, faith, and power, passion to do it. And you're just starting on this adventure. And then, say, for instance, life goes on, things happen, starts taking you down, And I think if we can reconnect with that time, that moment when you're in the peak of your inspiration or energy, it can give you the boost to say, remember you.
Yep.
Or like I'm speaking to you, come back here to this moment. Like you can always call and ask your young self, what should I do? Or how should I feel? You know, this kind of thing. So, and I've heard it, it's after the production's been done, I personally heard it a few times and I got very touched myself because I think this is something for me that I really love. I love to stay very fresh, very young, very invigorated with life. And sometimes, you know, the issues and all this kind of stuff can, and I think just getting back to that that youth is incredible.
A fun tidbit about that song, while they were writing it, I was in the next room preparing some backing vocals for the studio. And it was really funny because Seb was getting so excited about the song in the next room that on all my recordings, you could hear Seb like, woo, woo, woo. And I had to go out so many times and be like, Seb, please be quiet.
I might have had a little Baileys with that coffee.
Excellent. All right. Now, Olive, Rocker Baby sounds like your song, sounds like something you've been wanting to do for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually also one that we wrote like quite a while ago. But yeah, it's just a song about going and rocking it, rolling it with all your soul and just smashing it out, you know? I think
It'll be a
inside of
good
me, I
live
feel
song.
a lot like, yeah, I feel a lot like there's probably I suppose a rock element inside of me that wants to come out. So when you have a song like this, it's just exciting because it's a place that you can really just like roll it. And it was funny. Our producer was saying that while I was doing the recording, he's like, "She's made for this. She's made to sing rock. You can."
That's what I mean. Yeah, it sounds like your song all the way.
Yeah, it's inside my soul.
It's true. I think we need more. We need some
Yeah.
more.
Hot rock for a reason.
All right. And then Bel Air. I just got to ask you, I love that line, a believer is its kryptonite. Tell me how tell me what you mean. I have my own feelings about it, but let's hear what you have to say. And then the whole song. And that's the closer too. It's a great song for a closer.
Yeah, that's a great one. Well, I think to start, let's go to the point of how we wrote it.
Okay.
Because sometimes on this journey where, like most of the times when I begin to write a song, I actually don't know what I'm going to write about. Sometimes I say, oh, I'd like to write about this subject. But like, for example, in this case, Seb and Victoria had just randomly met this girl in Cyprus. And she was very sweet and really nice person. She was half Dutch, or she's
Belgium.
she's
She was
from
half
Belgium.
so she was speaking French with me,
Yes.
so I could translate a bit.
Yeah.
And then we invite her to the studio to write a song. And we didn't know what's all about, but then we started, to write with her.
Yeah, so basically she was sharing a little bit of her story
Yeah.
too. And she had, well, when she was young, she was a little, like, was in the modeling industry. And apparently it was very intensive,
Yeah.
There was a lot of people trying to just take from her. And, there was, of course, the whole money scheme in there. So she basically said that it was a very, very difficult time. And this is a little bit how this story came
Yeah,
about.
and she also is the one that had the near-death experience.
Oh.
And she was told that by someone, her story is quite amazing. So told by someone about a white flower, and then if you went to this place, then this was going to happen, and this, so on and so forth. And she got healed from, so she had two situations. So her story was very rich and very deep, and she came from nobility in Belgium. And during the Second World War, her family, the Nazis, I think, came and took away their castle. So they had a castle, and she was a kid, and threw them out. And so then they kind of had to move, and there was a lot of stuff going on in her life. And so we got kind of the feeling of the story. We didn't know what the story was going to be about, but when we wrote it, it seems like it's a journey of like this young model person going into that world, and then there's these villains that are there just to suck the life and
Sharks.
sharks. And essentially, I think a believer is this kryptonite is really, I think, about God, about love, about faith, about the things that you can really hold on to. Like you if you believe in money, you know, it's not going to necessarily
It goes
pull
away.
you out of that. Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna, it
Not
doesn't have
gonna
any
last
strength
forever. You,
to pull you out of that situation.
you can't take it
But
with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really the truth is kind of like, is our passion. We love the truth concept, and that's what we're always striving to understand, is like, what's the truth? You know, it's kind of like you can tell any story you want, but that's why I think people like films and songs that are really true, you know, that even come from a personal experience or someone's life, or maybe a brokenness or something like this. And when you believe in these pure things, in these like rich things, this is the key that will pull you out. Or it's kind of like truth will always beat a lie, and love will always beat hate, and faith will always smash doubt. You know, like there's
You're
the
right.
winner of the story. And I think when you're focused on these elements and you're with that, it's like a giving or like sharing, or like will always beat greed. It's the, even if the short term is that the greedy one wins technically, in the long term, the giving one, or the, you know, the sharing one will be the winner. And so this is the point, I think, a little bit where we see that the believer is his kryptonite, and if you hold on to that, then, you know, that's the beauty.
And what did you make of the line?
Same thing. Yeah. That, you
Yeah.
know, you have to be strong in your beliefs, hold them true, as you say, truth, and don't let anyone sway you from those. And that protects you. That protects you from a lot of the junk. We'll just say junk, because there's a lot of junk going on in the world. And
That's right.
yeah.
We know.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was the album. Let's talk a little bit about your filming, because you mentioned you're going to be doing some videos. You're in Switzerland right now, right? I think you're still in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Huh?
We're in the Italian section
We're
of
in
Switzerland.
Ticino,
Okay.
the Italian part.
the south
yes.
of Switzerland.
Yeah, this morning we actually just crossed the tunnel from the German part to the Italian part, which is the longest tunnel in Europe.
Oh,
And
Gottardo.
yeah, it's
I think it's the
15
longest.
minutes.
It could be the longest land tunnel in the world. It's 17 kilometers underneath the mountain.
yeah.
So
So I
these
was going
two
to say,
parts are parted by two massive mountain ranges.
Yeah.
One massive mountain range, and just built a tunnel through.
Yeah. So-
But yeah, in about a month from now, we're gonna be going to Cyprus, and we're gonna be working on
The ninth
Oh,
the
album.
nice.
ninth album. Woo!
Yeah.
that's
So all the
awesome.
songs.
And people forget that you put out 3 albums. Most bands were happy to just get one fantastic album out. You nailed 3 of them. That was just incredible. And that's a lot to do in a year. But go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, we're gonna be going to Cyprus to do the album, and we have a few plans for our potential music video filming. One of them is
Okay, so because Cyprus is very close to the Middle East, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's really easy to get across from Cyprus to one of those countries, and we felt, let's do 3 weeks for the album. So we're getting our recording time and our presence in the studio less and less to finalize an album. So he'll work on the music for 1 month. We come there, finalize the music, and then we record the vocals. So we said, okay, then after that, let's take a week over in Israel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we might go to
Shalom.
Israel, and the reason why we're going to go to Israel most likely is to finalize writing the songs for the 10th album.
Yeah.
So, and then when we get back to, we'll come back to Cyprus, stay a couple days, and pass all the demos for the 10th album over to Chris,
Yeah.
and that will be our trip so far. And then while we were in Israel, we thought, okay, let's.
Maybe a music video.
Oh, and also
Yeah.
a dance. We'll film a dance.
Yeah.
One of the dances that we've choreographed with Victoria. We'll shoot a little clip there as well. So.
And I've always wanted to go to Israel because my parents, they met in Israel, you know, like
Oh,
in
wow.
kibbutz. They fell in love. So I have to go back to my roots and see where this all happened.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country too. There's a lot there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tel Aviv is like a coastal town. It's like a resort area, if I remember correctly.
Have you been to Israel?
Haven't been there either. I've been to Canada, Mexico, North America, but I've studied. My undergraduate degree was in political science, international relations. So I've studied all of these areas and I'm dying to go there. Definitely. Yeah.
Great.
Like I say, you guys are kind of living out what I want to do, but no, that's excellent.
If we stay connected, we'll share everything with you.
Yeah. We'll
Appreciate
share all
that.
our stories.
I have no plans of letting you guys go. I hope you keep answering.
Yeah.
You so the 9th album, so probably summer.
Yes, something like this. Usually when we finished producing an album, it takes maybe a month and a half until it's ready to be released, because we master in Switzerland, and we leave from Cyprus, and then we do a back and forth with Chris. It's just to get everything finalized and the mix correct. And then once that's ready, then he sends us over the songs pre-mastered, and then we master it here, and then it's ready. So usually that process takes about a month and a half. But you know, we haven't thought too much about releasing yet for this year, but we do feel that most likely at least we'll do 2, maybe 3 albums, but we're not stressed to do 3 or even 2. I think we want to bring back music videos and more live action shootings.
Yeah, we're definitely excited about doing some live shows again.
Yeah.
We did 2 live shows in Malta, which was great when we were there last month, I think.
It was for the New Year.
Yeah,
and
New Year.
Christmas.
And
Yeah, I
that
was going to ask you about that. So go ahead. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
The people
Yeah,
they really love
that,
it.
yeah,
that video you did make was a lot of fun. You guys looked so happy to finally be doing something live again.
Yeah.
I know everyone that's an artist feels that way right now.
And what's funny is that every day there was some new information about whether anyone can go to a place,
Yeah.
or if they can have. It's
It
like
was really strict.
you don't
in
even know.
the country as well. So like it's pretty much almost illegal to have like any
A
form
big
of big
event,
shows.
yeah.
And
So,
even one show got cancelled. We were going to do 3 or 4 shows, but and we ended up only doing a couple. But I remember before we even went to the show, we were already in the place and there was music playing, and because we were so excited, we were dancing for like
Yeah.
at least 1 hour,
Yeah.
2 hours, maybe just dancing on the dance floor. And it was really a lot
It was
of
a
fun.
good
And then we
experience.
finally got to these guys.
And
Yeah.
then,
got to
and
perform.
then the police broke in.
Yeah, because they're really strict with events and stuff. So finally, the police showed up and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And everybody was trying to hide.
And I remember I didn't have a mask, and like the security guy was like, "Quick, everybody, put a mask on." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have a mask," so I just like took all my hair and like went
Cover. No. That was good. Quick thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to announce the name of the new album, or still a little
We
bit?
have
We
no
don't know yet.
idea.
We haven't even discussed
We have
it.
no idea what it's going to be, because these are all pretty fresh songs. There might be 4 from the older times, but I don't even remember what songs are actually on the 9th album. Some of them I do.
Yeah.
Because we essentially we finalized writing some of them, and then we just turned all of the demos on one day and recorded them all simply for musical like versions of what he's done. So then we'll get more in touch with the songs. But there's going to be some pretty amazing songs on the
I'm
new
pretty
album.
excited.
There always are. There always are.
Yeah.
And you're looking at about 10 tracks, I think. Is there?
12.
12.
Yeah, we've always done 12. Yeah, he even suggested, "Oh, should we do 10?" I said, "No, we can't. We can't be cheap. We got to go for the full album."
Yeah.
Any news on tour opportunity? I know you guys are going to be busy doing the videos, but any other opportunities that way?
Well, so far we haven't gone after them right now. It just what I see, it's just not so valuable at this moment to try to get into it yet, because there's so things like,
The internet's kind of dragging.
it looks like Europe is, yeah. So for us, we
It's not picking up what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
the sound is usually good. It's
so essentially for us, it's not, we're not rolling hot there yet. And I think we'll continue to produce, write, shoot music videos, and I think the right moment's going to come and say, "Let's go." And then we might even go after a backline band, and then we'll see. We have some ideas of exciting things that we want to do in Europe, but we have to see it.
We always have so many ideas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe by fall or winter, this will finally settle down.
It could be.
Over here anyway. They're already talking about things decreasing, so hopefully that's the beginning of the end anyway, or at least the beginning of the end of the dangerous period of COVID. Everyone says it's going to morph into something that we get every year, but less, but more tame. Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's been wreaking havoc on the world for sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll just stay busy until that time. We'll just keep doing these things.
And we will be ready.
And we'll be ready.
You guys do. That's for sure. And then I noticed that you were talking about doing a Facebook Live show. Is that also a possibility? Down the road? I know. Yeah, I think what you're doing is excellent and intelligent. Put out the videos, keep showing people that you know how to perform live and perform in front of people, and especially with beautiful backgrounds. But are you thinking about doing that?
Yeah, I think we are, just because it was a lot of work to do 3 albums last year. And at the end of the year, we were all a little bit like, because we were traveling. And so we said we were even going to have a vacation in Morocco. And we were going to shoot a video.
We already bought our flights.
We bought our flights, and then
got canceled.
The flights were canceled, and so we just said, okay, yeah. Then we went to Malta instead. But it was quite interesting how kind of things just move around. We have to be very flexible with what we're doing. But I think it's coming time that we are gonna start going for like some online live shows, and I think we need to do it this year. Yeah.
We're ready.
No hurry. You
Yeah.
guys are producing wonderful music. Well, is there anything else you want to discuss that haven't covered?
Wow, it's been great. It was actually really fun for us to go over the songs.
Yeah.
Because we love listening to them in our car and rolling around. And the thing is, we go through one album, and we're all like rolling the album, and then as soon as the demos
Of the new
of the ninth
album.
album come to us were in there.
Yeah.
So now we're coming. So
On to the next.
yeah, on to the next. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to discuss? You're constantly busy, so
Yeah. Well, just last thing for me. Yesterday we bumped into a guy that had bought our album 2 years before. His name is
Jaeger, Klaus
Klaus
Jaeger.
Jaeger, a German guy.
I saw that
And-
video. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the video. So he was so nice and he was so in love with the song. And then he said, "Can you please come to my house and so you can sign all the CDs?"
He wanted
all of our
the
signatures.
on the album.
And we were close by, and so we just said, "Let's go." And he was in love with "I'm the Mountain," and for me that was very exciting to see. It's actually a favorite of a few people, like
Yeah.
Victoria's
My
father.
father loves it. It's also my favorite of all the albums, I think. It's very peaceful. It's like 6 minutes orchestration. Have you heard it?
It sounds familiar. I've
It's on
watched
the
a lot.
Lionhearted.
It's on the
Okay,
Lionhearted.
yeah, I'm sure I've what is there a video? Because what
No,
I've
no,
done,
no.
oh, maybe not then, maybe not.
But just, I think
I've watched,
we-
I think I've watched all of your videos, all the way back.
Well, we do have an idea. Like, I got inspired after last night because we can't do like some big shows at this point, and it's quite complicated. We even
Quite
set
restrictive.
a few up, or like we've signed on to do a few, and then they get canceled. So it's really like this,
Yeah.
So I had this idea that we're gonna do house shows.
House
yeah.
tour.
House,
Swiss house tour.
yeah, Switzerland house tour. And basically, we have a lot of friends and fans around Switzerland. And when we're in their area, we'll just go to their place, spend the evening with them, play some songs, listen to some music. And it was just so fresh. And then
Yeah.
we talk about the music, and it was just so nice. And it's really great to see someone and the way that they respond to
Yeah.
a song or your music. And yeah, he made a comment. He says, "I only bought two albums last year."
One was from ABBA and 2 were from you.
Yeah, he bought 3. He said, so one's from ABBA.
You're up there with
And he
us.
said,
That's pretty good.
So much better.
Did that?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
that's what he was saying.
I
You didn't
didn't
hear it?
No.
He was like, and yours was at least 2 times as good.
That's
We have someone like that over here in Seattle. She's a friend on my Facebook page. I think they called it living room shows or something like that. And she was doing that for a long time, organizing these living room shows, and went over really well. That was, I think, pre-pandemic though. I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
seen any postings since, but yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy those. They're a lot of fun, and people get close to the musicians. You can talk to them and actually do sort of what we're doing here, talk to them about the songs, and get a better feel for what the whole album was about.
also, it kind of even our connection with you in the last 2 times and our writings back and forth, it really builds a friendship.
Yeah.
And I think this is what we're really apt to find, these kind of people that we really understand each other. We like what we're doing, what you're doing, and just bringing it together. And it's really, this is kind of what lasts. If you do a show and wow, it's so good, and you're gone, they might stay with you online, but when you kind of spend a little time,
When you build a friendship.
then it's really, really special for us, so.
Definitely. Well, anyone else?
I have something to say.
Uh,
Oh, that's right.
you want it?
Seb is
Yes.
begging for a song.
Okay, so this is the song that Seb was in the beginning of the music video. We actually filmed this one in Austria. It's called People. So we haven't played too much lately, so we might make some mistakes.
Let's see what we remember. When you try so hard to live like everyone tells you to. When you try so hard to be like anyone else. When you cry so hard 'cause nobody tells you you're gonna be alright. Sing now. Sing now. I got life, gonna live like there's no tomorrow.
I got hope.
Gonna learn to find the joy in sorrow.
I got faith.
I believe there's a better way, a way to love. Gonna give it all today.
I got hope.
Gonna find the truth I pray.
I got faith.
I believe I found the way to love you. When you fight so long, but you still can't see the way through. When you love so hard, but you don't feel it coming back. When you want so bad for someone to tell you it's gonna be alright. Sing now. Sing now. I got life, gonna live like there's no tomorrow.
I got hope.
Gonna learn to find the joy in
I got
sorrow.
faith.
I believe there's a better way, a way to love. Gonna give it all today.
I got hope.
Gonna find the truth I pray.
I got faith.
I believe I found the way to love. You are the reason for my. You are the reason for my. You are my reason. You are my soul. I got life, gonna live like there's no tomorrow.
I got hope.
Gonna learn to find the joy in
got
sorrow.
faith.
I believe there's a better way, a way to love. Gonna give it all
I
today.
got hope.
Gonna find the truth I
got
pray.
faith.
I believe I found the way to love you. Ta-da.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Well, hey, thank you very much, Sparrows, for taking the time to talk with us today. Hard to top that. That was just perfect. But
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
look forward to getting together with you again when you're ready.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, thanks for. I know you guys are extremely busy, so thank you very much for that.
That was pretty good.
We
Pleasure.
can-
Yeah,
Had
we
lots
really-
of fun.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was really
It
fun.
was a good evening.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you, Mark, yourself.
And one last thing, we definitely thank you at the progressiverockcentral.com for playing that music and doing everything that you do. You really do a great job.
Wonderful. And thanks for your awesome reviews. We're
Yeah.
gonna post them very soon.
We always look forward to reading
Yes.
them.
All right, give me a second here.